Hey there, welcome. So I'm really excited to chat with you guys today about goal setting and what that looks like and why it's important. So I'm going to cover a few different things, but I want to start with a story just to give you kind of an idea of why goal setting is so important and why it's so impactful to our business in Arbonne. So several years ago, Harvard did a study with their grad students. And so I like to point out that they're grad students, so they weren't just a group of freshmen. These were serious, hardcore students that are ready to go out there and tackle the world, right? Well, at least some of them are. Well, they did a study, and 3% actually of these grad students had written down goals, like goals that were written down on a piece of paper that they could see. 13% hadn't written any goals down, but they had the goals in their mind, like in their head. They had thought about these goals. And 84% absolutely had no goals, had nothing in their head and nothing written down. And 10 years after this, you guys, Harvard decided to go back and check with these folks and see where they were on their goals. Well, I'm sure none of you are going to be very surprised because you hear us talk about the power of writing down a goal all the time. Well, here's the crazy thing. So 10 years later, the group, the 13%, the ones who had goals in their head, made 2 times more than the ones who had no goals at all. But here's the most powerful statistic of all, is the group that had written down goals, the 3%, the only 3% that had written down goals, 10 years later made 10 times more money than all 97% of the others. So than the ones who had a goal in their mind and the ones who had no written goal down. So if that doesn't tell you the power of writing a goal down, I don't know what else to say, you guys. We get told all the time how high our percentage is of succeeding in this business if we write a goal down. But there's always the flip side too, you guys. It's only like 7% that of a goal that ever happens that wasn't written down, you guys. So we raise the odds, right, in our favor by writing down our goals and visually seeing them and visually looking them. But I find that most people will hesitate about writing down goals because they're worried they won't hit them. They don't want to fail. They're worried about what it would look like if they don't succeed and hit that goal. So that's my goal, is to kind of squash that kind of mentality, you guys. My goal today is to squash that kind of mentality and encourage and inspire all of you to begin to write down your goals. So I have a few tips that I want to give you, and I'll do my best to be brief. So the first thing we want to do is create a vision when we're talking about goal setting, you guys. So what do you want to do? I want to encourage you to think big. Don't just think about, what are those tangible things that you need now? Write those things down too, but you also want to think big. If you are making $20,000 a month with Arbonne, what are some of the things that you would make changes in your life? What are some of the things that your family would do? What would that enable you guys to give back, in what ways? It's so important when we think big, but also tangible. So tangible, those right now goals, and what are the big goals that you want to do. Document your vision. If you were to go in my bedroom, you'd see this great big vision board that I have that I look at every single day, you guys, because I want to see my goals not only physically written down, but I like to see them visually as well. And the second thing, you guys, is make it measurable. So as you're writing down your list, you want to have achievable goals. So if you're a brand new consultant today, you're probably not going to put down first step region for this month, but you can definitely write down the dates that you want for district, area, region, and nation. You guys, I had all, when I joined Arbonne, even though that wasn't something I saw myself doing, I still was encouraged to write down those goals. So I wrote them down, and you guys, I didn't achieve any of them, not any of them. I was late on all 4 of my goals for promotions, but it didn't matter. I wrote them down, and I still achieved them eventually, you guys. So make sure you write them down, and make sure you do it in an achievable time frame. If you're curious about what that looks like, or a more realistic goal, then talk to the person, your sponsor, and ask them, or talk to your regional vice president, area manager, and ask them, does this look like an achievable goal for me in the next 3 months? Find out, you guys, because it really makes a difference. Number 3 is set benchmarks, and these would be those little time frames. So you guys know me, you hear me talk about this all the time. I like to work backwards when it comes to goal setting. So if your goal is to be a regional vice president by the end of the year, then we work backwards from there, figure out how far away that is. What do we need to be doing this month, and then the next month, and the next month? I have a great goal sheet broken down on my website called the RVP Goal Breakdown, and it's basically RVP in 10 months. It starts off with hitting at least 2,500 in your first month and growing by just 30% every month after that. And by 10 months after growing 30%, you'll see that you would hit regional vice president. So it's great to break it down in those incremental goals, you guys. Because most goals, you guys, are just a big buildup of small achievements. And I think that's so important. Break it up into smaller steps, you guys. And as you write down your goal on the beginning of the month, you guys, oftentimes we have to adjust our goals. But what I don't want to want to encourage you to do is to adjust your goals backwards. So if you find yourself in the middle of a month and it doesn't look like you're going to hit your original goal, adjust it, evaluate, talk to your upline and say, how is it possible for me to still hit this goal? I still would really like to hit this goal. Do you think it's possible? And they're going to be able to show you whether or not it's possible or not. And you guys, I want to really encourage you, when the beginning of the month rolls around, the 15th of the month rolls around, send your upline a message. Send them a text saying, I would really love a second set of eyes on my goals this month. I would really love to know if you think it's possible that I could hit what I'm going to hit. Oftentimes, we're worried to share our goals with our upline because we think they're going to condemn us or judge us. And that's not what we're here for, you guys. We're here to help, guide, inspire, and show you the way. And so it always helps to have a second set of eyes when we're working on those goals, right? You guys, I just want to show you this really fast because this is our goal sheet, and you're going to find this goal sheet on my website. And this is just a great way, every month, print one out. You can print one out for the rest of the year. And it's a great way to write down your goals. So right here, you see your team goals. Now, if you're just a team of one, which I hate saying just, I'm excited for you. Congratulations on joining our business. So it's not just, but if you're a team of one right now, this would be your personal goals. And you guys, I'm going to say that our good goal should always be $2,500 when it comes to personal QB. Don't put down $500, don't put $1,000. If you're serious about building your business, we always want to strive for that $2,500 building block. But it's important to write down what your personal goals are for the month and listening to calls, sponsoring, and what you're reading. Who do you want to help get into qualification for a district? Who are you inviting to meetings, right? Fill these in, because that keeps you, when you look at this all month long, it keeps you ready and active for what the important things are in this business, you guys. And here's where you can kind of map out your team's goals. And over here, this is where you would put down all your scheduled activity, and then any additional activity like one-on-one. So I don't want any of you to be scared of filling out this sheet. This is, you know, what I like to do is when I sit down with a consultant and we're working over her goal sheet, I flip it over, and then I like to draw circles. So I like to draw my name in the middle, and then I could draw all the different legs I have coming out for me so I can visually see what's going on with my team as well. So you can find that on my website, you guys, under goals. The next thing and the last thing I want to talk about is celebrating your success. I think this is so important when we're writing down goals, because we forget to celebrate. We forget to celebrate that we made 5 phone calls. I don't care if the 5 phone calls, you left 5 voice messages. Celebrate the fact that you made 5 phone calls. You know, yesterday I was in Hollywood with my daughter, and I was looking for the address of where we needed to go, and I had run up into her room, and she has a daily to-do list in her notebook. She writes down the 5 to 6 most important things she needs to do for the next day, the night before. And at the very bottom of her to-do list, where the address for the studio was, it said, celebrate your audition. And you guys, that means she's ready to celebrate whether it's good or whether it's bad, because the way she sees it, every audition is good because she's getting herself out there and she's one step closer to her dreams and goals. So celebrate whatever it is that you did for Arbonne today. If you reached out to 3 new people, celebrate that, you guys. It's so important, because we beat ourselves up and then we lose sight of what it is that we were reaching for. I want to encourage you guys, as you're setting your goals, to have family goals. Talk to your family about, you know, what's their favorite restaurant, or what's the restaurant everybody would like to try, and make a goal for when we promote to district manager. When you promote to district, you're going to take everybody out to dinner to their favorite restaurant. And if you have multiple kids, I've done this before. If you have multiple kids, have each of them write their favorite restaurant on a piece of paper and put it in a hat. And let them know, when we reach this goal, we're going to pull a name from the hat, and we get to pick whatever restaurant it is you want to go to. When you promote to area manager, do the same thing with your family about a day trip. Maybe you want to take them to a water park, or maybe you want to go out for a drive up in the mountains, or go to the beach for the day. Whatever it might be, you guys, have a family goal for area manager as well. For regional vice president, pick a weekend goal for regional vice president, you guys. It's so important to get your spouse and your significant other and your kids and your grandkids and everybody involved in this goal, because then whenever you're going out to do the activity you need to do, guess who's going to be cheering you on? 100%. And you guys, and at national vice president, Arbonne's going to take you to Maui on them. So that can be your national vice president goal. But learn to talk about this with your family. All 4 of my kids are goal-oriented, and it's because we've talked about this ever since I joined Arbonne 13 and a half years ago. So they understand the importance of writing a goal down, just like we should. So with that being said, you guys, I want to encourage you all that whatever day of the month it is today, that it's not too late to goal set. Even if you're listening to this on the very last day of the month, you can still goal set for the month that we're in. Decide that you're going to put your vision and your goals on paper so that you can be part of that 3%. Guys, let's be a part of the 3%. Right now, I want you to evaluate and ask yourself, am I the 3%? Am I the 13%? Or I'm in the 84%? Remember, the 84% had 0 goals. The 13% at least had them in their head, which I would say is probably most of us. And then only 3% had written them down. So I want you to think about that. Which one are you? And decide to move up to the top in that 3% so that you can have those chances of hitting your goals that much higher and that much better. So congratulations on being an Arbonne consultant, and I hope you have an incredible month as you write your goals down and then turn them into action. God bless you guys.